So, hi.
It was mine. It was just hanging there the whole time. I don't know. I guess it was when the stuff people weren't packing yet. There was so much stuff. It was all squished together. I didn't see.
And what about your sweater?
No, I never found it.
It's a shame.
Dorelle is behind us, yeah?
She's
This is the longest one yet that we passed through.
Different coming this time. You came in New York.
I don't remember going back on to the house again.
But the next 2 days before.
You're welcome. Have a nice visit.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See you later.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then there's a $30 option, and then there's a $50 like that.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Depends. They don't sell
$15 for each, like shrimp. For each.
Yeah,
For each.
I have shrimp. They're very good. So, me? Yeah. Not official.
I would like to introduce myself. My name is Harry Fagelstock. I'm 90 years old, and I'm coming here with my family, children, grandchildren, to visit the internment camp where I was interned from June 1941 to January 1942. And I hope the children. I was interned in this camp from June 1941 till January 1942. And I'm here with my children and grandchildren, and I hope that you will have a nice experience to see the place where their father and grandfather was interned.
Okay.
In my time, this changed. They were able to lift up the bridge.
And
And there was heavy, oh, here you see the gates, heavy gates to close. And you can see the thickness of the walls of the fortress. This fortress is built, you can see here the stories of the fortress.
okay.
So, Ori, you want to take pictures too?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
No.
They built this because the soldiers
Hi.
That's a perfect one.
Barbed wire dividing the camp from the administration. Here, there was a barbed wire here, in the middle of this area. And then there was a barbed wire in there. And there was a wooden hut there, but they took it down. There was a creation hut. So this part was only for the administration. And also this building didn't belong to the camp and administration.
You want to tell us what that is?
But okay, there's a barbed wire here, this direction to separate the camp. This building here was where we housed, where the interns were housed. This is the building for the administration. There was a barbed wire to separate them. And then there was in this area, what you see from here till the building, about the half of there was a barbed wire along this way, and then there was a barbed wire in the back. There, and it was standing, they built a wood, hut, a big hut. There was a recreation hut, but they took it down. Here there's a sun, how do you call it? A sundial.
Sundial. You know what a sundial is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to go see it?
You can see it. Okay, later. Okay.
Let's go there now. Because it'll be easier than going back and forth.
So you can see.
The recreational hut.
I myself had very little there, myself personally. It was for activities. Also, there was the two kinds of, as much, we were 200 observing Jews here, 200 keeping Shabbos and eating kosher. And the rest was about probably 500 non-kosher. But the official shul was in the creation hut. But we, our clique, we had our shul in this building.
There always has to be two shuls.
So we had our own minyan at different times and different speed and different. This was my Yakish and this was my Chassidish.
So you went to Hasidic minyan then?
Yeah, we had that.
And where did your brother go?
Also we were there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I explained it yesterday that there was a group of 20, 30 people who decided that there was a kosher kitchen, but these 20, 30 people didn't eat the meat because we didn't trust the shchita and we didn't drink the milk. So
Why didn't you go to the Yaki minyan if you were Yaki? You weren't Hasidic, you were Yaki.
there wasn't so much yaki, I wasn't. It was really
Also, it
German
was the
yaki,
more-
so I was,
Your
Also-
family wasn't that way?
no.
Also, it was more frumer. The Yakashimini was more,
Yeah,
like,
give him
more observant, more
The
machmir.
Hasidic minyan.
Yeah. You had that, you learned there in our little
Base
school.
measures.
So you daven slower? Is that what it was? You don't know.
Could be done later, Shabbos did them earlier. I don't know, I don't remember all the details.
But I don't think anyone was.
So where we
Hasidic.
should start,
I
the
think we should-
downstairs or the upstairs?
Were there any Hasidim in that minyan?
Yeah.
Want to explain?
Oh, they were
maybe
Hasidic.
explain how the
What?
sundial.
I don't know how it works.
Okay. Then whatever.
So where we should start? We should start the downstairs or the upstairs?
Let's go
Okay.
to the back, maybe first.
First?
To the back.
First get upstairs
Yeah.
in the back. Okay.
So Tati, you had no manual labor.
The shade of the...
Did you have any manual labor here?
Yeah.
Ta, did you do any manual labor?
Yeah. But the general made net, camouflage net.
For
They
the
were-
enemies?
For the Canadians, for the Canadian Army.
Oh, Canadian Army, that's what I'm saying, when they went in the war, during the war.
Yeah, during the war,
Right,
there
the
was
Canadian
big
Army,
net,
that's what I thought.
big net, so they did it by hand. It was full with strings, and you had to make the knots.
How much did you get paid for it?
I don't remember if we got paid 10 cents a day or the 10 cents a half a day. But in those times, 10 cents was probably $1, $2. The value to buy something.
So what could you buy with a day's work here in the camp?
That was a canteen you could buy.
Like what would you be able to buy?
I don't remember. I can't remember.
Can't.
The other camp is about different things which you needed. That in the picture you can see the roll call when we had to line up to be counted, and you see it's you can't see it so clearly the barbed wire, and we were standing facing this way with our back to the building, and this building is this building.
What time was roll call in the morning? You don't remember? It wasn't like 5 in the morning.
No. You see, this staircase leads to the upstairs. The upstairs was our sleeping quarters. There where we slept. So usually these steps in my time wasn't just nice and good like this. They were very broken down, not how you say to remodel
Remodeled it.
yeah. But it was very not comfortable to go down the steps.
The wooden?
First?
Was
No,
wood?
it was stones.
Stone?
Oh, but the stones were broken stones. And this. So, but during the day we didn't use the steps. But at night, if somebody had to go to the washroom, you had to come down these steps during the night, yeah? It was freezing cold here in the night. And this was our toilet.
These are toilets? Those are jails.
This was our toilet. This is, I don't know how many, I don't remember exactly how many niches were the toilet, if all of them were, so here, if you can see what's going inside. Yeah. So there, but you have to come inside to see it, no? Yeah.
Let help.
No, but if you stay there, the other people can't see. But everybody wants to know. Such a modern toilet doesn't exist in the whole world. Yeah, there was here a 2x4. You know what's a 2x4? A beam of 2 inches thick and 4 inches wide. Yeah, to the hole till the end. Yeah, was supported. Yeah, and then was big buckets, big buckets with a round handle on top, but the handle was turning up and down, yeah? So each bucket was another toilet. So there was one beam 2x4, and one bucket next to the bucket, you support yourself on the beam, and this was your toilet. And every day there was the people from the camp who this was their job. So they have a long stick. They put the stick on the and the handle, and the round handle. And he carried it out and washed it out and brought it back.
Wow.
So that was our toilet.
Was there privacy between the buckets?
A big privacy.
So
It was like this, just a beam, yeah, for 2 or 4, and one bucket next to the other bucket, next to the other bucket.
So they weren't these buckets here.
But,
No. They had handles.
Maybe the handles
not
fell.
this. Yeah, they've got some from metal. So big. Yeah, and had a round handle. When they took it, they took the stick in the round handle. One, you carried it out, you washed it, you brought it back.
Whose job was it?
Some probably wanted to make money, or they liked to do it, so they did it.
You never did it,
I
right?
never did. So that was the modern toilet. You want to go from here upstairs? Or, yeah.
Upstairs.
Yeah, from the front you can't go upstairs. There's another side there, no?
The other side this way, I think.
Where's the other side?
Could we, excuse me,
Where's the other side?
could we
This
go to the
way?
other side?
You can, if you want to go.
That's where he slept.
One side.
What's it going for? Where's it going?
Thank you. This is where he slept. Really? Yeah.
Okay, we can talk, yeah? So when we were there, all this beams and separations here wasn't there. It was an empty. There was nothing there, all empty. And there was double beds, yeah? And the double beds were lined up there, one row, another row there, and another row here in the middle.
So you mean bunk beds, right?
Bunk beds, yeah, from metal. Yeah? I've slept around here. Either here or on the other side. I don't remember exactly. No, not here. More there, I'm sorry. I slept somewhere. So my bed was, I shared my bed with my brother. I slept, he slept in the bottom, I slept on the top. And it was around here, the bed. There was 3 rows of beds. One row there, and one row in the middle. On the bed we had a thin mattress, probably an inch thick, and we had 3 blankets and 1 pillow. And the one blanket we used as a sheet, and the other blanket we covered ourselves. Every day in the morning when we got up, we had to fold the mattress like an S, like, yeah, and put it on the head of the bed. The blankets had to be folded in a specific way and put on top of the mattress, and on top we had to put the pillow. So there was two real jackets, all the people probably in their 50s. They asked from the commander to give them a robe from one end to the other end here. Yeah? And every day in the morning, they measure with a rope if all the beds are standing exactly the same millimeter. If all the blankets are exactly the same millimeter, and all the mattresses the same millimeter. And they said that there is kind of ordnung here. There's no order here.
And these were the prisoners.
Yeah, two old jackets out there.
Did the army come and check how
No,
the beds were
no,
made?
no,
Or did you get any?
Here it was not very, more freedom, more, we used this entrance there, this goes downstairs, but note, he said he closed up this entrance. So the same, this is on the other side. You saw the other side. The other side, they made it now to show you how it was in time when this fort was used 300 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, but in my time, even this wasn't there. We didn't have this. It was empty.
And the heating was this?
I don't remember.
It seems like that seems
That's
like
an oven, yes.
it's an oven.
Did you have proper heat in the winter?
Yeah.
What is it like being back here?
What?
What is it like being back here for you?
Back here, you see, we're mostly sitting and learning.
Uh,
I think what Dvorley is asking, how does it feel for you to be back in the place that you were in prison during the war?
Well, you see, for me, it was in my age. I was turning 20, before 20. So I didn't feel so much that I'm losing my time. We are learning all day, and we kept what we needed. Yeah, it was the older people, was over 20, but they felt that they losing their time. But we younger took it not so seriously.
Were you upset with the government of
No.
Canada, or with the English?
No. You have to understand, we were thankful to be out of Europe. We know what happened in Europe, in Germany, in Poland, and this, and we knew the bombers which were in England, in London, and we were happy here that we were away from the war zone.
But the fact that you're in barbed wire and you couldn't go
Yeah,
where
but
you wanted
that we are safe.
Uh-huh.
Understand? We are safe. Our lives are safe. We have no fear of life.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we know what happened, what's going on in Germany, in Austria, and in Poland, and in Ukraine, and there, yeah. We knew about it.
They gave you hope, like they told you, like kind of.
When we were here in this camp, we already knew that when we came, there were how do you say, the Canadian government went to, how you say this?
Change.
No, to look to each person,
That's right, they interview you.
and they started to separate those who were real refugees and those who were not refugees. Understand? So in this camp, we were only Jewish people. In the other camps, there were
Germans.
Gentiles.
But I think the first camp you said there were.
That was only for half a day. But here they started to make selection. Yeah.
Did you know
And
that?
here now we know already that we're going to be free. It's only
Matter of
time.
time.
Did you know while you were here or in any other camps?
No.
There was a ship sent back, but Canada didn't let in.
Huh?
Did you know that Canada refused to let in Jewish people from Europe? You didn't know.
No,
It's a big ship.
no, that we
You
didn't know. We didn't know. Man, they didn't let in any
Yeah,
refugees.
So you didn't know Canada's.
No, we didn't know this. No.
So in other words, you thought you were in a safe place.
That's it, that we were happy to be in a safe place and not dangerous. And you have to understand, even there was a fear that England would be invaded.
Uh-huh. And this camp, you knew your parents.
Yeah.
It was here that you made contact with your parents, no?
I think it can be already.
It can't be. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be already, sure.
So this was mainly the sleeping quarters, and now we'll go down to
Synagogue.
the synagogue and to the kosher kitchen.
Now the kitchen, I don't know where it's kosher, but this is the very part of the kitchen was. But we have to go out
One
front.
more question.
Yeah.
Mary, you ready?
You see, this the staircase they made for us. It wasn't in the original fortress. This staircase was made special for us for the internal camp. It wasn't there in the original fortress. So we used the staircase, we didn't use the back staircase only during the night we had to go to the toilet. But during the days we didn't use it. You see this picture? It looks this is here. So this is our learning area where we learn. Like I explained to you, that learning Torah is a mitzvah. So we didn't learn really because we want to become rabbis or we want to get more knowledge. We just said to learn because it's a commandment from Hashem that any free time that you have, you should occupy in studying Torah. So here we study the Torah, like you can see in the picture. So this here is my brother, Emmerich. Yeah, here. And also we prayed here in this area on the other side. There's more down here. And the end of the corridor was the kitchen. And next to the kitchen, the end, this indents here were the dining room.
Kosher kitchen.
No, just all the kitchens were there.
So the kosher kitchen was together with the non-kosher kitchen?
Yeah, next to, I don't remember exactly, but they were one next to the other.
Tati, Menachem has a question.
Do you have a Pacific rabbi that would like learn with you?
You have a Rebbe who would learn with you.
Is there like a leader, a rabbi?
You see, this person here was Zelig Epstein. So he was an older bacher, so he helped us out when we had some questions, didn't understand something. Yeah. There was other older bacher in there who know more than we knew, so they helped us.
So, could you maybe share, when you left London, the yeshiva, to go for the inquiry, what's the only things you took with you, say?
When they arrested me, yeah?
Yeah, when
they arrested me, they said to me that's only, they're going to question me, some question, and they will let me go right away. So I only took my Gemara and my tefillin.
Did you bring your Gemara here, the Fort Lennox?
I have it still at home.
Wow. So the books you learned with?
No clothes, no nothing. The only thing he took
Was his Gemara.
his Gemara and his tefillin.
And
He was
did,
like,
and did everyone have their Gemaras, and that's where you learned from?
He contacted the Montreal. He sent us Svarim, he sent us everything what we needed. We had to say for Torah. We had to say for Torah on the ship too. When we came in on the ship, we took with the Sefer Torah.
Oh, wow.
It was the kitchen. this area here, and here, this was the kitchen. Yeah, this
What
was the
in
kitchen.
Just a stove and a basic sink?
I don't
Well,
remember, it was not electric stoves.
Now, who did the cooking? The prisoners or the...
Prisoners.
They did all the cooking, and they got paid for it too?
Yeah, yeah.
Were you ever in the kitchen working?
In Campia, I was climbing the things for worms, sometimes over
You would check for which ones?
worms, to check for worms.
So that was for kosher or just because people didn't want to eat worms? What was
Yeah, for the
reason?
kosher, only for
Only
the
for
kosher.
the kosher you checked for worms?
Not because we checked the worms, yeah. Yeah, so we had to work half a day or the whole day to get paid, yeah. So we had the things to check, and under this were our Gemaras, and we learned. Checking was taking an hour, yeah.
Oh, so the other half a day you didn't...
Yeah, then we were sitting learning. We had the Gemaras on our knees, we were learning. When somebody came, we were starting to check.
Checking. And you got paid to check even though it was for your benefit, it was a
Yeah,
kosher
yeah.
thing. They still
Everything,
paid you.
everybody was doing something. Okay.
Okay. Do you remember what you bought with your money?
I don't remember. I had to buy raisins for Pesach, for make wine, it's the whole story, and the oil for
Hanukkah?
Hanukkah. I benched every week the Shabbos left, I had to buy candles, but I don't remember
But
exactly.
if the soldiers took everything away from you,
Because
how did you guys get money?
money from working
From
the
working.
camp.
So they paid you in the camps. All the camps they paid you?
All the camps. No, the first camp there was nothing, no working, no pay in 3 Rivers. But in Camp B, the whole time,
So they paid you for
they
work.
paid for work. I don't remember the 10 cents a day or the 10 cents a half a day. They gave us coupons.
Coupons.
Yeah. So it could be that the dining room was here right after the kitchen. A veg group.
The Hasidic?
No.
He was in the Yakka one? Do you know anyone alive now in Montreal who went through this camp with you? You don't think so?
I don't know.
And anywhere else? Are you in touch with anybody
My
today?
brother.
Your brother, right?
Hetzka was still living.
He's still living.
Yeah. Gradman, I don't know if he's still alive. I don't know.
So your brother and you, when you were in the camp, you were very close?
Yeah.
You did everything you did together?
Everything we kept very much.
Where's our water? Molly, where's our water?
I think it's in this building.
What, yeah.
Here, you bring the whole stroller. It's around the corner. Okay. Tati, what was your reaction when you found out you're free, you're going to Toronto?
I was very happy, I was exceptionally happy to be free, to go out. It was freedom, it was great.
You're excited.
Yeah, very
Uh-huh.
excited.
And going to an unknown place, you're being free to a city you don't know anyone, never been there before. You didn't mind. A new country.
We weren't worried.
You weren't worried that you didn't speak the language.
We knew a little bit English from England. We spoke English.
Oh, so you could know.
We didn't speak English good, but we could make a conversation. And then in those times, Yiddish, you could say was
Universal.
So they gave you passport right away? Like after you left, they gave you passport?
No, not a passport.
No.
They just and
money, they help
but
financially?
still, when we were released, went to Toronto. I couldn't move from Toronto to another city without permission
Oh wow.
from Blair. He was the Minister of Immigration.
And financially they didn't help. Didn't give any money to anybody.
Where the
When you left camp, they
the
gave you money.
government?
Yeah.
No.
Not only didn't give anything,
They
they were very restrictive.
Oh, yeah, he said he couldn't move to other cities.
I get from Austria still each month a little money for this because I was interned.
Oh, yeah.
Not too much. If I would have been interned 3 years, I would have.
No, but I'm saying no, just
but
because.
as much of I wasn't 3 years interned, so the amount is very small.
I understand.
Who paid for your traveling expenses from here to Toronto? Like who arranged it?
Probably
Was it?
I don't remember. We went from here to Montreal, stood overnight in Montreal, next day we went.
And everybody from here went to Toronto? Like that was the policy here?
No, the travel Christ took out the corp of the Shiva.
Menachem has a question.
Have you ever tried to make plans how to escape here?
No, I never replied to escape because there was nowhere to escape.
Explain them why.
And then it was like what's the use? You will be cut and to brought back. This is. And then you see, we wanted to show them that we don't feel that we are prisoners. We are not prisoners of war. We are refugees. Understand? We wanted to get the status that we are very nice people, not dangerous people, and you should treat us like the refugees, not like prisoners.
So you thought? Did you think the whole time it was very unjust
After
that they could take a refugee?
After we left, yeah, the Camp B became a prisoners of war for German soldiers. So there, some soldiers escaped.
Oh,
But
they did.
but they catch them.
Besides that, this is an island. You saw that you can't go anywhere, right? There's water here. And there was barbed wire all around.
Did you feel the unjust of it, or it didn't bother you?
You have to understand, when we were in England, why they sent us to Canada? Because they were afraid of the German invasion of England. When there was till today, how would you say, Almighty Hashem, he makes the whole this about why Hitler didn't invite England is a question till today, why he didn't do it. And we were anxious to leave England. And when we were here and we knew that other people close to us, and Europe, and how they are treated there, and how their life is nothing worth.
How did you find out?
We know. And we know the bombing in London. And, so we were very happy, we were extremely happy that we are safe. Our life is not in danger. Like I explained to you before, we younger people, we didn't feel that we lose our time. We kept up studying, we learned every day.
So life continued.
So we went, but then freedom. Yeah, nobody wants to be locked up here. You want to be free, you should be able to go where you want. But if you weigh freedom to dangers of life, it's, you're happy you're interned and
Right. It's all relative.
Yes, I am. And then it goes to me. No, you smile. No. When you were in there, I controlled myself.
One second. Everybody here can see you?
One second. You want
Yeah.
to see? Come sit down.
Here. Okay, start.
It's 5 minutes past per video.
Oh, this is you have to This is the picture you see here in the road phone.
I come from Frankfurt, which is a big city, and I was born in 1919, so I was about 13 or 14 when Hitler came to power. So I went to school. I was an ordinary kind of middle-class German schoolboy. And the fact that I was Jewish was not particularly interesting or important.
Au XIXe siècle, la bourgeoisie juive s'est assimilée totalement à la culture allemande, au peuple allemand. Et il y a beaucoup de juifs qui sont devenus chrétiens. Et donc, les juifs qui sont en quelque sorte assimilés, disparus, et c'est à travers les nouvelles lois que Hitler a introduites en 1938 que ces Allemands ont été reconnus comme juifs.
It was a gradual deprivation, diminution of civil rights. So people were thrown out of their jobs. If you were a Jewish teacher, say, you were thrown out. Increasing difficulties. Also, if you were in business, you were encouraged by the authorities. The people were told, don't buy from a Jewish store, this kind of thing.
In November, through Kristallnacht, I was living in the dormitory of the seminary, and I didn't expect to survive that night because a troop of German people, as stormtroopers and others, invaded the dormitory, trashed everything completely, and I thought they were going to kill us, but they didn't. The orders were just to destroy the property.
Au moment où sont venus les nazis, la vie est devenue dangereuse et j'ai eu la chance de devenir réfugié. C'est l'Angleterre qui a donc offert des transports des enfants pour les sauver et moi j'ai signé, j'ai mis mon nom sur une liste, j'ai quitté Berlin, c'était au mois de mai 1939 et je suis allé en Angleterre, j'avais pas encore 16 ans à ce moment-là.
There we were, refugees.
The day of departure was Shabbat, which created great resentment amongst the Syrian community, but the army did not budge from their position. They had to go on the Shabbat.
So there was a dot in Illinois, and we assembled all of the dots, and then we had to stand there, and we were in small groups. And we were taken over by boat to the camp.
In the camps, we were given a kind of blue flat blue jeans with a great big red circle on the back so that if we escaped, they could shoot.
Do you remember
But what
the
choice
structure?
did we have? We did more than that. So we looked like Britons.
The camp building itself, the fortress building, was not really suited for 20th century occupancy.
On était quand même très serré dans les baraques, il y avait quand même une centaine de personnes dans les baraques, il n'y avait pas d'espace. Et quand tu es jeune, tu t'adaptes. Mais pour des vieilles, pour des vieux, pour des adultes qui ont besoin de tranquillité, etc., moi je pense que c'était très difficile. Je suis tout à fait conscient que dans des camps, la différence de classe continue, surtout pour les Européens.
The camp is a whole universe. And groups were formed of kindred spirits. And there were some, and you usually associated with people like you. And now Orthodox Jews, that's an interesting, and on the inner mind before that, there were a number of them. And they they insisted on observing the rituals and also the food rituals. Food, you see.
Oh, here you have it.
So unacceptable.
Put the,
There was a way of
For the
getting in
toilet.
touch with Jewish
Oh,
communities.
that's carrying the toilet.
And then
Oh, it is carrying the...
that's a good diplomatic.
I see they carry the toilet.
Yeah, the bucket.
Yeah.
And in the end, this was somehow resolved.
Rabbi Krauss came to visit the camp.
Can be.
Arrangements were made that the quartermaster would get kosher meat, and that helped us to establish kosher kitchen, which was a building by itself, if I remember correctly. And some of the young boys had experience in cooking, so we had our own cooks, and everything seemed to function properly.
Did you eat from that kosher kitchen?
One of the nice things
But we didn't eat the meat.
of the island
Everything
was,
else.
Not the milk, not the
It
milk.
was pleasant to walk on the island, and we were even allowed to swim. We swam one day, and they swam across the river to the other shore. And soldier accompanying us and watching us, guarding, was very nervous, and he gesticulated and threatened to shoot if I wasn't going to come back right away. Well, my chances of escape were pretty slim. I wasn't even wearing a bathing suit, so I couldn't have gone very far.
I made some nets. They showed me how to knit a net, a camouflage net, you know, for the Canadian Army. So that they
Yeah, see, I make it.
But this is inside now.
These nets were used to throw over tanks so that they would camouflage from the air. And I think it was at that particular time, we always got 20 cents a day for wages.
There were also some unpleasant incidents. The camp commander wanted a certain work detail on the Sabbath, on the Shabbat, and some of the people refused to go, and they were actually incarcerated. And that was probably one of the incidents of what we call anti-Semitism.
Do you remember that?
we had a service for the victory of the Arab armies. The religious ceremony. We finished off this national anthem, God Save the King. That they was their glories, you see. We invited all the officers. The officers were standing there and they couldn't believe it. People standing, putting the wrong uniform and singing God Save the King.
The ultimate insult was when a well-meaning officer told us frankly that he would have preferred to look after real German prisoners, because we, first of all, were all complainers, we were whiners because we were unjustly interned, and we didn't even have the decency of standing up for our native country, Germany. And that was really the ultimate misunderstanding of who we were and what we were and what was going on in the world.
One overwhelmingly unpleasant thing was that there were no birds. And I mean, that was a very serious thing, but you got used to it. But it was a very serious deprivation. A lot of people deprived of women found some kind of release in homosexual activities. They were not gay, but in the situation like that they were. The moment they were released...
To the left!
Yeah.
Wow!
Very high.
But you can go back. You can go back. Here. This is all. No, this is,
And some of the younger inmates
dans le camp, j'ai découvert que j'avais une certaine intelligence et que j'étais capable de travailler. C'était une grande découverte. C'était magnifique, une expérience.
Yes, really? Felix is there. Could we go back?
Ensuite,
How's he related to Mr. Felix?
comme garçon à Berlin,
The one who moved to...
comme garçon à Berlin,
Hey, schooling.
After my show. Oops, I'm sorry.
But schooling since we were thrown out of the German school.
That's your uncle.
Yeah, that's my shit,
comme
my brother.
garçon à Berlin, j'étais.
Okay, so
Je n'ai pas travaillé.
So where did all these end
Dans
up?
le
Where did these
camp,
guys
j'ai
land?
découvert que
You see here, that's the shul, that's the same place where Shakir the shul is.
Yeah.
See the window there?
Yeah. No, where did these guys end up? These all end up in Montreal, most of them?
Yeah.
On a contacté l'université McGill et c'était la possibilité de faire la matriculation.
But the Uruguay Council was in America, and we couldn't go there, so there's a whole correspondence from a year. So if you're interested, I can leave it to your copy. But
Between who and who? Between you and
the- this picture was taken here in the camp, in the Camp I, because I was trying very much to get a visa to go to Uruguay and to join my parents who lived in Montevideo. So I needed to have a picture certified by the commander of the camp, Major Racy, that is a true photograph of myself.
You know, growing up hearing all the stories from my father about what it was like in the camps were actually like adventure stories. He made it, to me, it wasn't like he was going through any trauma as much as how did he get through all the holidays and the adventure and just to make wine for Passover and how he ended up pulling through and doing it all. So, but at the same time we heard the stories, we didn't own a car, so there was no chance of ever coming here. So for me, this is very, very nice to actually see the place and coming here for the first time in my life, being here and seeing things. And I never expected to see like toilets like this and cramped quarters. I only heard these adventurous, fun stories. So this is like a whole new insight to see it was not as easy, it wasn't such an easy life being in the camps. Oh, so my name is Leah Davidson.
It was great being here with my father today. For me, this trip is very inspiring to see my father going through the camp's years, and his main focus was on his spiritual connection to the Almighty, and to see how his spirit kept him strong, his faith, and how throughout the difficulties and challenges he was able to keep not only his religion, not only his traditions, not only his customs, but he was able even to be careful with even small little things like if he was not eating the meat or not eating dairy for those few years because he was so careful with the kind of shchita that he ate and so on and so forth. And where he spent most of his time, even though he was able to join his friends and playing, doing whatever else, but any extra moment he had, he studied Torah, connected to his spirit, and that was very inspirational to see that when he left London, the only two things he brought was not his clothes, not any jewelry, not any money, but he brought his Talmud and his tefillin, and that kept him throughout his entire journey. And through all the different camps, what he talks about and what kept him alive and kept him going was his great faith, which eventually brought him to the yeshiva, was able to continue his studies, and eventually reunite with his father. And if you see the letters from his father and the correspondence, what everybody was remarked about how strong he was with his faith throughout this difficult and challenging time. My name is Avram Fegelstock, and I'm great to be here today. Okay, that's all.
Tati, were your parents surprised with how firm you were and how you kept everything on your own?
No, you look at his father's letters.
Yeah, were they shocked to
No,
see it or they
no,
expected it?
He didn't expect it.
They expected it, huh? You don't know. He was happy. Okay. I think Menachem, maybe you'll let others go on it.
Come on, Joey, you can still on.
Also,